Hey guys, HDV here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon video. Now, we've seen loads of new features being added to Pokemon Sun and Moon, such as Battle Royales, no gyms, the Island Challenges, Ultra Beasts, Legendary Evolution, the list just goes on. And of course, one of the best things about a new Pokemon game is all of the brand new Pokemon that we get to see, and how they're going to affect the competitive scene. A really cool feature in Sun and Moon though, is that lots of the new Pokemon have very unique moves and abilities, making them a huge threat in the competitive scene. With that being said, today's video goes over my personal top 5 best new abilities in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Of course, if you have an ability that should have made the video that didn't, please leave it in the comment section below after watching this video. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. With introductions out of the way, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. Okay, so coming in at number 5 is the ability Schooling, which of course is unique to the Pokemon Wishy-Washy. Now, why this Pokemon is obviously such a good, why this ability is so good though, is because Wishy-Washy in its solo form has, the worst stats in Pokemon. It's got a stat total of 175 with 45 HP, 20 physical attack, 20 physical defense, 25 special attack, 25 special defense, and 40 speed. However, when you activate Schooling, which obviously activates on its own, it changes in Wishy-Washy into the school form. Now, what the school form is kind of a monster. Again, it only has 45 HP and 30 speed. However, this thing is packing some pretty nice stats. It's got 140 physical attack, 130 physical defense, 140 special attack, and 135 special defense. So obviously, this ability is making a really poor Pokemon into one of the most powerful in the new games, with a stat total of 620. But obviously, when it has a lot of HP, the Pokemon forms powerful school. It stops schooling when its HP is low. So I think that's when it falls below 25% or something, it will go back to the solo form, which again has a stat total of 175 and isn't that good. But people, the ability is really cool. Like I said at the start of the video, there's a lot of new unique moves and abilities in Sun and Moon, and this is obviously unique to Wishy-Washy, and it makes a really poor fish into a very powerful Pokemon. And the school form is definitely something to fear when it's on the battlefield. I mean, it can be run as a mixed attacker. It's got 140 attack and special attack, so either way you want to go with it. It gets an incredible move pool. Gets access to moves such as U-turn and stuff as well. Earthquake, Ice Beam, Scold. It's a very strong Pokemon, and it looks really strong as well. Like, it doesn't look friendly at all. It looks very scary. So that is taking the number 5 spot. Like I say, it is a very good ability. It is unique to Wishy-Washy. The only downside is that the ability does kind of cancel out when the Pokemon does fall below 25% HP. But if you can set up a Wish or something and get it straight back up there, you can start Schooling again. But yeah, so Wishy-Washy's ability Schooling takes the number 5 spot. The number 4 spot in today's video belongs to the Elemental Surge abilities, which are obviously the Tapus in Pokemon Sun and Moon, the Guardian deities. There's obviously 4 Guardians. There's Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Fini. Tapu Koko's ability is Electrical Surge. Now, obviously, these are 4 separate abilities, but it's kind of it's kind of the same thing in the regard that, they're the 4 Guardian deities, and the abilities are relatively similar. It's just a different typing and things like that. So I decided to just put it all in as the number 4 spot in today's video. Anyway, Tapu Koko has the ability Electric Surge, and what that does is it creates a low-lying electric field, which is very similar to electric terrain. And when the Pokemon enter the battlefield, it prevents grounded Pokemon from falling asleep, and it also increases the power of electric type attacks, and is of course unique to Tapu Koko. So that's really cool. You can't be put asleep when Electric Surge is active, and also the power of electric type moves are powered up. So that's a really nice ability. It gives you a huge advantage, volt switching and discharging and everything like that. It does a lot of damage, and this obviously Pokemon does get access to both of those moves. So that's really, really cool. So it's very nice for the electrical type moves. But that is Tapu Koko's ability of Electric Surge. Tapu Lele's is called Psychic Surge, and what that does is it's very similar to Psychic Terrain, and obviously activates when Tapu Lele enters the battlefield. It prevents high priority moves being used, such as Sucker Punch, Shadow Sneak, Mach Punch, things like that. And it also increases the power of Psychic type attacks. So that's obviously very nice, meaning that you're not going to get outsped priority moves by priority moves if you are a fast Tapu Lele. And Also, Psychic type moves getting that boost is also very, very nice. So that is Tapu's Lele's ability. Obviously, Psychic Surge is unique to this Pokemon, like they all are unique to the the Tapu. But next we have Tapu Bulu, who's rocking the ability Grassy Surge, and that creates a low-lying grassy field, like the move Grassy Terrain when the Pokemon enters the battlefield. It restores the HP of grounded Pokemon each turn and increases the power of Grass type attacks. So obviously you're going to be getting it's similar to Leftovers in the way you'll just be getting HP at the end of every turn, but it's very nice for this Pokemon because it hits very, very hard, and it's got some nice defenses, and so getting some reliable recovery from Grassy Surge is very, very nice for this Pokemon. And also it gets moves such as Horn Leech and stuff as well, which gets you some reliable recovery on this Pokemon, and so that being boosted by Grassy Surge is going to get you more HP back, plus the HP from Grassy Surge is also very beneficial. So yeah, this ability really helps this Pokemon out. And last but not least, we have Tapu Fini with the ability Misty Surge, which is obviously unique to this Pokemon, and what that does is it protects all grounded Pokemon from status conditions such as paralysis and stuff like that, and burning, but it halves the power of Dragon type attacks. So it doesn't boost up this Pokemon's water type attacks, it actually halves the power of Dragon type attacks, which won't really be used anyway because Tapu Fini is part Fairy type, so I don't think you'd be using a Dragon type move anyway because it's not going to affect the Pokemon anyway, but you know what I mean. It's very nice to have like Draco Meteors halved in power. But that is the number 4 slot. Like I said, the 4 abilities are kind of just one, not just one, but they're unique in their own, but obviously it falls under like the same category. They're all surge abilities, but that takes the number 4 spot in today's video. So coming in at number 3 spot today, we have Mimikyu and its unique ability in Disguise. I'm a huge fan of Disguise because it allows you to settle with Mimikyu, because it basically acts as a substitute. Basically, Disguise, it allows the bearer to avoid damage for one attack in a similar way to Substitute. It can still be status, like Paralyzed or Burnt or Poisoned, but any like contact move, special or physical attacking move, the Disguise just soaks up that damage. So obviously you can set up like a Swords Dance or something with this Pokemon. Something like that, or a curse or something like that. You basically get a free turn to set up a a setup move. So getting a +2 Mimikyu for free is very, very nice. And obviously if you run a focus sash on this thing or something, you can even set up another Swords Dance, then just Shadow Sneak loads of things. So you could just +4 Shadow Sneak everything, which is obviously going to do a lot of damage because obviously it is stab as well from its ghost typing, because its Pokemon is Ghost and Fairy. But yeah, big fan of Disguise. It's Mimikyu is seen a lot in the competitive scene. It does have some nice stats as well to go with the ability, but yeah, Disguise very, very handy, just basically getting some free setup moves on this Pokemon. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the ability Beast Boost, which is kind of broken, you know what I mean? Basically, all the Ultra Beasts have this ability. It's unique to the Ultra Beast, no other Pokemon get it. So obviously the Ultra Beasts are kind of just separate in their own world. And basically, the Pokemon boosts its most proficient stat each time it knocks out a Pokemon. So for this example, we'll just take Xurkitree because it's got an incredible special attack stat of 173. So basically, every time Xurkitree knocks out a Pokemon, say you use Discharge on something that switches in, and you destroy its soul, you're getting a +1 in special attack, as well as its special attack already being 173. And this is the Beast Boost for many Pokemon. So if you were coming in with Kartana or something, it would get a boost in its attack or something. You know what I mean? It just boosts its best stat by +1 where every time you knock out a Pokemon. So if say you're doing doubles or something, and you use Discharge and it knocks out, or a Battle Royale and it knocks out 3 Pokemon, you're getting a +3 Xurkitree just like that. You know what I mean? It's a very broken ability, and it just makes the Ultra Beasts even more difficult to handle, because obviously they all do have a stat total of 570, which is a very high stat total in the first place. So if you're getting a +1 in your best stat as well every time you knock out a Pokemon, it's going to be very hard to take down, especially if you can Scarf a Pokemon. Say you Scarf Xurkitree and knock out a Pokemon, you're going to be a Scarf Xurkitree at +1 special attack. You know what I mean? That's very hard to take down. So yeah, Beast Boost takes the number 2 spot just because it is so broken, and it just makes strong Pokemon even stronger. So claiming the number 1 spot in today's video is Araquanid's ability Water Bubble, and this is obviously unique to the Araquanid evolution line, and I think we can all understand why this is such a broken ability and why it has taken the number 1 spot. Obviously you may disagree with me, but I believe it is just very, very broken. Basically, Water Bubble, what it does It lowers the power of fire type moves done to this Pokemon and prevents the Pokemon from getting a burn, so this Pokemon already can't be burnt. The other amazing thing about this ability though is that it doubles the power of water type attacks. So obviously this Pokemon does only have 70 physical attack, can't be burnt though, so that's not going to be cut in half or anything. But Water Bubble basically doubles that, so it doubles it to 140 pretty much. And then when you're using the move Liquidation, which is an 85 stab physical type water move, that's getting doubled by Water Ball. It really does put things into perspective on how, you know, how broken this ability is, because that's going to be a huge hit every single time. You know what I mean? You just can literally click a Liquidation every time you come out with Araquanid, and you know, you're fine. You know what I mean? You're having a great time. It's a really good a move to have. The other thing about this is it can be so broken in VGC as well. If you can pull off an entrainment, because it makes the target's ability the same as the user's. So say you're in there with a Gyarados or something, and you trainment it, your Gyarados on your side of the field to make its new ability Water Bubble. A Gyarados with Water Bubble that's going to double its attack using a Waterfall, that's going to really just destroy anything, you know what I mean? Nothing's going to really survive that. So, you know what I mean? A double power Waterfall stab from a Gyarados is going to hurt. And that's just an example. Like, there's loads of other water type Pokemon you could use this with. But yeah, getting just Water Ball in the so it's incredible in singles just because Araquanid can do amazing damage. And then in the VGC as well, it can really put in some work as well. But yeah, that's why Araquanid takes the #1 spot for its ability. I just think Water Bubble is so broken and it really helps this Pokemon out in the competitive scene. But with that wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you did enjoy the video though, please leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, if you believe you know of an ability that didn't make the list, then be sure to leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I also have a couple top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you have the time, and also subscribe if you do like my content. That's everything from me though, so thanks for watching guys, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.